It squashes your confidence. When you have to admit that you've got something like this, you've either got the people that are like sympathetic and understand and are lovely, and you've got other people that just look at you and say there's something really very wrong with you, and you're made to feel very small and I don't know, you go home and you think about it and you think, oh, this is just soul destroying, it's depressing, and you feel useless and rubbish. It's such a stupid thing to be scared of. It just got to the point where I'd had enough. It's affected me from the age of 5. It's a long time. It's a gradual process as well. It's not an instant phobia. It's something that happened when I was 5, a very silly, childish thing. I'd even forgotten about it. It was only through hypnotherapy that I was able to remember it. It was going up a slide that was in my garden, and I had been told to hold the side so that I wouldn't fall, and I had leant over but was holding the side, and I fell onto concrete, and it left a scar on my face which you can't really see now. It was such a silly thing, and the thing that I remember the most about it was the shock that I was doing what I was told to do and I still fell, and that was the trigger that triggered the whole thing. It's just deep relaxation. He takes you to a point where you're not quite asleep, but you're not quite awake, and you're just sort of floating and drifting in your head, and sometimes you have to keep pulling yourself back to what he's saying. Your conscious mind is drifting, but your subconscious is listening. It's the most wonderful feeling. You're just so relaxed. I've never been so chilled in my life. And when he brings you back, you just feel like you could take on the world. When we had the therapy outside of the clinic, he kept saying to me, what are you frightened of, what are you feeling? And I kept saying, I'm just scared, I don't feel safe, And he was pushing and pushing, and it just suddenly came out. I said, I'm frightened, I'm going to fall. And I didn't even know I was frightened of falling. And he sort of said, well, you didn't tell me that before. So we sort of worked on that in the second session, and then the memories started coming back, and we found the memory of me falling as when I was 5, which was the key. And once we found that, and we were able to work on that memory, the hypno really kicked in. The second we carried on with the hypno, I was able to go up these particular stairs, although I definitely give them an 8 in fear, and I was still very frightened. The hypnotherapy probably lasted about half an hour, but most of our sessions together were a good couple of hours, because we do chat and it puts you at ease. Once you sort of get used to how he works, you can have a smaller session because you know you can be relaxed and you've got to know him quite well. So, but at the beginning it was a good couple of hours with him. I don't see Russell anymore. I don't need to. He's there if I need him. It's just a phone call away. But I really don't need him, because he's left me with different techniques to be able to control my fear, which are a lifesaver. There was a new bridge built at the bottom of our main road, and it makes it easy for people to cross the ring road to get into town. It's very high, and it's got horrible stairs. I couldn't do them. I couldn't even look at it. and it was such an achievement after seeing Russell. I didn't actually manage those stairs with him. We practiced on a different set of stairs, but that one was one that I achieved on my own, and I actually got up those stairs on my own and stood at the top and then turned around and came down, but I did phone my husband at the end going, yeah, I did it. I think about 20 years ago I was thinking about having hypnotherapy. I didn't think that any other therapy would work because the phobia is so strong, and unless somebody's actually felt that fear, they really wouldn't know how bad it is. And I couldn't have done it without the hypnotherapy. Absolutely not. Because it calms you, and we got rid of the phobia part of the problem more or less straight away. It was just facing it. It was so hard. I think you've got to be at the right place in your head to be able to face it and do it, but it's well worth it. The first meeting of him, I kind of got stuck on the stairs and he had to help me down, and I knew then that he'd be able to deal with the phobia. Russell's good at what he does. Simple as that. He's got the right voice for hypnotherapy. He just takes you away from all your problems. He's caring, he's thoughtful, he's kind. He's also quite strict with you, so there's no getting away. And he knows what he's doing. He's really good. I'd really recommend him. He's a star.